Howdy folks, Kathy Williams-DeVries here, bringing to you the scale requirements for Grade 8 Trinity Guildhall Clarinet exams. I'm not going to go through all the scales because we have covered them in previous grades. I am using this scale book, and we'll basically be working through that. I will also be doing the requirements for jazz clarinet, simply because I believe that that's equally valid for classical players. So what I'm going to start with are a few jazz scales, although I don't know why they're not regular clarinet scales. C major scale, 2.5 octaves going up to the top G, as is the chromatic scale starting on C. Now, going up to the top G, now going from the F, I recommend that you leave the C sharp key on and go to the G, because sometimes the G doesn't come out. And it's a bit silly to be raising fingers when you can simply... And also, there's a slight change in articulation required, mixed articulation. So you've got your all-tongued, all slurred, staccato tongue, or mixed articulation, which is diet, diet. So if I just play at speed, so it's not all that difficult. Now in the chromatic starting on C, I recommend that using this F sharp that you use the side key to get up to a G. Because at that speed it really doesn't matter. So if you're going in the top octave, you can of course finger it out, but I tend to use the fake fingering at that speed. So the chromatic scale, and you should know the notes from previous grades. Okay, so drawing from your E chromatic, that's not all that hard. The blues scale, be aware that you can use, you can only use that E flat. Use the side F sharp and the left hand C. You then have the diminished scale on C, 2 octaves. Again, I recommend you use the side key G flat and the forked G flat. And in the diminished 7th arpeggio, I recommend the left hand C again to get to the E flat. Now in the dominant key of 7th, and this is for the classical players, keep the F down when you play the G, it'll come out easier. But make sure that you do take that finger off for the D. So now for the jazz guys, you've got your E major 7th arpeggio. Make sure you coordinate. You need to use the left hand E and also the left hand B. Otherwise there's no real dramas. You've got the Dorian scale on E 3 octaves, which is pretty much a D major scale except you're starting on a low E. Then you've got your E minor 7th arpeggio. There's no dramas here either. Now your Mixolydian scale, I would advise you to use this E and this F sharp so that you can get to the G sharp. And maybe practice the just to make sure that that's easy for you. So the Mixolydian scale, starting on the right hand E. Then you've got your E major arpeggio with the lowered 7th, which is the dominant 7th. I recommend that you use the left hand E so that you can play the right hand G sharp otherwise. And then you have the E pentatonic, again right hand E, left hand F sharp so that you can get to the G sharp. And then the E pentatonic minor scale, 3 octaves, again for the jazz boys. Then you've got your E jazz melodic minor 3 octaves. You'll need to use the right hand B to get to the C sharp and the D sharp. And again C sharp to D sharp. Making sure that you don't leave the E flat key on for the C sharp. So then you've got your E minor arpeggio with the major 7th. This is the only D sharp you can use, and left-handed B for the D sharp. And then you've got the blues scale on E. May I recommend the forked fingering for the A sharp. You then have the diminished scale on E. I'll recommend that you use the right hand C to go C sharp, D sharp. I recommend that you use that D sharp as well. And then the diminished. You then have your whole tone scale on F. Practice the top octave. So that it becomes left hand B to right hand B, left hand C sharp. You then have your augmented arpeggio on F 3 octaves. I recommend that you play the top octave. To coordinate between the F and the C sharp. So you then got your F major scale 3 octaves. Start on the left hand F sharp. Might I recommend that you use the forked B natural, the side key E sharp, the forked E sharp, and there's only sort of one A sharp, D sharp you can use. So for the F sharp major arpeggio, I do recommend the long A sharp, and that I tend to go for the overblown B flat as the F sharp. You've then got the F sharp harmonic minor scale. You will need to use the left hand F sharp. And the left-handed C sharp, of course, forked fingerings for the E sharp and side key E sharp, and you may want to practice the top octave. Just so that the fingerings are all firmed up. So and then for the melodic minor scale, there's only one D sharp you can use, and up top practice the top octave. So and then the F minor arpeggio, again I would use that overblown B flat for the F sharp. You then have the chromatic scale starting on F sharp. Maybe I should just, for the top F sharp, you just side key the top F. It's your choice. So you've got the diminished 7th arpeggio on F sharp. May I recommend the left-handed C and the overblown B flat for the top F sharp. G major scale, might I recommend that you use the side keys for the top G, so that it just makes life a little bit easier. So that's completely up to you. Got the G major arpeggio. Might I recommend it for the top G? You put the C sharp key down to make the top G easier. See what I mean? Sometimes it doesn't come out if you don't use it. So. And also open the throat a little bit. That'll help. G harmonic minor scale. You might want to practice the top octave again. Just side key the top G. I find it easier, or that you can't do that for the melodic minor scale. So the harmonic minor. And the melodic minor, I would finger out the G, but have the C sharp key on because you're going to the F in the next note. So. And then the G minor arpeggio, same deal as with the major arpeggio. Stick that little pinky key down. Now, chromatic scale on G3 octaves. Did we just do that for the jazz guys? Oh, that was starting on C and going 2.5 octaves. But again, I would side key the top G. We also have A flat major scale 2.5 octaves. May I suggest you practice the D flat to E flat, mindful that you don't leave the E flat key on, the pinky key on for the D flat. So, and you need to use this D flat to get to the E flat, but that's fairly straightforward. No real dramas with the A flat major 7th arpeggio, except it's left hand C. Dorian scale on G sharp A flat, might I recommend the forked B natural, side F sharp, right hand B, left hand C sharp to the D sharp, and again forked F sharp. And for the G sharp minor 7th arpeggio, left hand B to get to the D sharp. This is the only D sharp you can use. The Mixolydian scale, might I recommend the side G flat, forked G flat. A flat major arpeggio with the lowered 7th, you will need to use the left hand C, and this is the only E flats you can use. You then have the A flat pentatonic. You will need to use the left hand C. For the G sharp pentatonic minor scale, right hand B, left hand C sharp to the D sharp. I think that should be an F sharp, but I think that's a typo. The jazz melodic minor, be mindful that an F double sharp's a G. And in the G sharp minor arpeggio you will need to use the left hand B. Chromatic scale starting on G sharp 2.5 octaves, all previous rules apply. You've got the blues scale on G sharp, a C double sharp is a D, and then the diminished scale on G sharp, might I recommend the forked B natural. Diminished 7th arpeggio on G. Okay, the dominant 7th in the key of A, left hand E to get to the right hand G sharp, and left, and that's all you have to worry about. Dominant 7th in the key of B. This F sharp should be fine. You can use the long B flat. And the dominant 7th in the key of C, might I recommend up the top you leave the F sharp fingering down for the G. It just makes it come out a little easier. Okay, so that's the scales as written in the scale book. You do have a heap more scales, however I've covered those in grades 5, 6 and 7 if you need those. And we don't seem to have any arpeggios. I assume they've already been covered. So that's all of the scales, grades 1 to 8 for Trinity Guildhall. If you've got any requests for studies and pieces, please let me know. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.